What else can you tell us?
Well, that's right. That was the big surprise of the day, as it was billed as a Terminator sequel, and it turned out to be Tom Cruise just making a flyby to drop the Top Gun trailer, which has been in the works for about 30 years. Iceman will be returning in that too, just so you know. Also, I'm here at Comic-Con. You can see it's one of the most festive conventions in the world. You never know who's going to surprise you and pop up. Rick and Morty here, and it's one of the most spirited events. And more than 135,000 people are attending this year. And it really helps the local economy because more than $140 million of an economic impact hits this area. It's spend on all kinds of special edition items, comics, artwork, and comic franchises, TV shows, and just about everything pop culture is here at this event. Also for budding comic writers and artists trying to sell their work and promote their new work. This is also a big worldwide financial money engine here, because if you look at the movies, for example, 3 of the top 10 highest grossing movies in China were actually Marvel movies. At number 2, Avengers, number 6, Spider-Man, and 7, Captain Marvel. So you can see how powerful it is in the global box office. Now, China also recently got its own Chinese Marvel superheroes created by Chinese artists published in Chinese. And that is Arrow is one of the characters. It is a superheroine that is Shanghainese. Her real identity is Lei Ling, and she is able to fly and also sense danger by the different air conditions. There's also Swordmaster, also known as Lin Lie, whose father was an archaeologist and excavated the sword and left him with those powers from the sword. So I talked to Marvel editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski, who lived in China for 2 years to sort of drive this effort. I asked him how those Chinese characters were being received.
Amazingly well. We launched the comics digitally through our partners at NetEase, and the comics were a huge hit right off the bat. I mean, you know, it's just like, we never quote sales numbers, but they were some of the top-selling comics for Marvel in a very long time. And the characters have naturally migrated over. You know, we did a big event called War of the Realms, which was a global event, and these characters, as well as some other Asian characters, interacted with the Marvel heroes, with Captain Marvel, with Captain America, with Thor. They brought down the evil forces that were taking over the world, and now they're on the radar of not just the rest of the characters in the Marvel universe, but the Marvel fans who have really embraced them as well.
This assembling of Chinese and other characters also includes the Chinese superhero Shang-Chi, and there is even talk of him appearing in his own movie someday. And to shed some light on that, joining us now is the writer from Nerds of Color, Dominic Mah. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
You actually know a little bit perhaps about the rumors of what's going on, whether Shang-Chi, the Kung Fu master, will actually have his own movie.
Yeah, I mean, Shang-Chi is likely to be in the next phase of Marvel movies, which may get announced in a matter of 2 days. Just for a little context, Shang-Chi is a legacy Marvel character. We say legacy because he's been around since the 1970s or so. He's probably Marvel's preeminent Chinese-American character, probably their foremost Asian-American character as well. A little bit modeled after Bruce Lee, and basically, you know, is a master of unarmed combat.
And the significance of that potentially happening.
Yeah, well, it would be significant. I mean, just in a broader way in American film and television, you know, Asians have representation problems. Asian Americans, particularly Asian American men, have a problem getting represented in roles that aren't belittling or silly. You know, there's a long history of this. So we'd be kind of excited to see this movie come out.
There are also some other potential news about Asian American talent playing major roles. Tell me about that.
Oh, well, we don't know who's been cast yet. For Shang-Chi, they've gotten as far as attaching a writer and a director. I believe Dustin Cretton and Dave Callahan, who are both Chinese American, I believe. And one thinks they might announce, Marvel might announce some casting at this Comic-Con this year. We'll see.
What about with directors and artists in other movies, like The Eternals is another project that may...
Another movie that's very likely to be in the next phase of Marvel's movies, The Eternals, which is a much vaster cosmic story. And it looks like it's going to be directed by Chloe Zhao, who's Chinese. And I'm blanking on the name of her movie, but of the movie she did previously. But that one should be like a seriously big movie.
And Agents of Atlas, which brings together all these characters, Chinese characters, other Asian American characters. You talked to the writer of that. Tell me the history of those characters and why that happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other significant thing that happened this year for Asians and Asian Americans in comics is a writer named Greg Pak, who is an established Korean American comics writer for Marvel. He put together a sort of team of all the Asian and Asian American superheroes that Marvel has, including the legacy ones like Shang-Chi and Jimmy Woo, and including sort of the recent wave, including like Silk and Kamala Khan. And the book is called The Agents of Atlas. It's sort of, an Asian American Avengers, for, easiest way to say it.
Thank you, Dominic Mah, for joining us. I can say a little dose of nerddom from Nerds of Color, who shed some light on these characters that may be on your screen soon. Possibly more diverse Asian characters, Chinese characters coming to the world of superheroes. Mike.